everybody. Thank you for coming and joining us here today for the Pillar 1 session in the 9th Forum. The title is Towards a Sustainable, Human-Centric and Resilient Macro-Regional Maritime Industry. Today, the coordinators, Milena Krasic from Montenegro and me from Greece, will only welcome you because we have a very important and kindly participating panelist here. The keynote speaker and moderator of the session is Mrs. Eleni Hadjigianni, policy officer from DG Mare, working on the Basin strategies, maritime regional cooperation and maritime security. Then she will introduce our three selected panelists that come from different perspectives that will be united here today. She will give you many more details. We have Mr. Carlo Kraskovic from Italy, we have Anna Otak from Croatia, and we have Maria Boile from Greece. And in the end, the conclusions will be given by Mr. Georgios Emanuel, policy officer from DG Regio. So thank you, and please enjoy this session. I hope that it will be the beginning, and many more things will follow building upon this. So, Ms. Hadjigianni.
Thank you very much, Irini. Good morning and a warm welcome to all of you participants to this particular session on Pillar 1 on Blue Growth, and a special thanks and welcome to our distinguished speakers. Irini has already very briefly introduced the speakers, but allow me please to say a couple of things for each one. Mr. Carlo Kraskovic works in Maritime Technology Cluster since 2015 in Croatia, where he is responsible for the international relations of the cluster, and it's actively involved in collaborative research and development projects in an open innovation perspective and in collaborative national and international projects addressing innovation and skill issues in the blue growth sector. Graduated with honors in international political sciences, has collaborated with the University of Trieste, focusing studies in the field of maritime economics. Before joining the cluster, he had working experience with diversified stakeholders linked to the maritime sector as logistics, ship management, and nautical sector. Our second distinguished speaker is Mrs. Anna Odak, who's the president of Maritime Innovation Cluster, board member of Titon Kvadner. She studied at the Faculty of Economics and Business and the Faculty of Croatian Studies at the University of Zagreb. She continued her studies at the Faculty of Political Sciences in Zagreb, where she earned the title of Master of Science in the field of Social Sciences and the title of University Specialist in European Studies. She started her professional career at European Press Holding. She then spent part of her career at the Ministry of Justice and the Agency of Regional Development for the Republic of Croatia. She spent most of her career working at the Ministry of Regional Development and EU funds. She is currently a board member in Titon Kvadner company, which is a part of EUSAIR Group. And our third speaker, Mrs. Professor Maria Boile, professor and director of the Master of Science Department in Shipping and director of the Quantitative Analysis of Shipping Laboratory at the University of Piraeus, Department of Maritime Studies. She is head of the Maritime Transport and Ports Unit at the Hellenic Institute of Transport of the National Center of Research and Technology in Greece. She is affiliated faculty member at the Center of Advanced Infrastructure and Transportation at Rutgers University in New Jersey and coordinator of the European Waterborne Technology Platform. Mrs. Maria Boyle has served as chair and member of various committees and has offered policy advisory expertise in environmental, energy, sustainable transport and supply chain related matters for various ministries and international organizations. Her research interest is in the area of freight intermodal and maritime transport system, modeling freight and maritime transport policy, port logistics, operation and management. So thank you very much. And I'm Eleni Hatzigianni. I'm working in DG Mare in the European Commission. I'm a marine scientist, and at the moment in DG Mare I'm focusing on maritime regional cooperation in the aspect of sea basin strategies and in cooperation with DG Regio for the maritime aspects of the EUSAIR and in particular following the Pillar 1. So, as already presented by Mrs. Irini Mazzuni, this particular session will focus on the sustainable, human-centric and resilient Adriatic and Ionian maritime industry. And actually, we chose this topic because, as you know, in this year of rapid socio-economic transformation, evidence has emerged of the central role of skills and capabilities and human resources achieving this aspect of sustainability in the maritime sectors. But also for doing so, innovation is a key, let's say, driver, and this is what I will try to present you and to address in order to launch this discussion in this particular session. Sustainable development in the maritime sectors. I'm super confident that all of you are already aware of the European Commission's aspect towards sustainability, the European Green Deal, and in particular for the maritime sectors, the communication which was adopted in 2021 on the sustainable blue economy. And with this communication, what we try is to address the blue aspect of the European Green Deal. So this is why we call it the blue arm of the European Green Deal, addressing sustainability as the triple section of environmental, social and also economic sustainability, but focusing on the maritime sectors, which actually represent a huge part of the European but also global economy. As sea is a shared environment, as marine scientists we like to address it, but also as you, the implementers of the strategy, know very well, cooperation is vital in order to address this aspect of sustainability. And this is why the European Commission has addressed and, let's say, is supporting several frameworks of cooperation for the blue economy sectors, the sea-based strategies and the macro-regional strategies. Very, very briefly, 3 sea-based strategies, the West Med in the Mediterranean, the Atlantic strategy in the Atlantic and the Black Sea, and 4 macro-regional strategies, 2 of them with a very strong maritime dimension, the Baltic one and the EUSAIR, the other one, and of course the Union for Mediterranean and the outermost regions and other frameworks cooperative, which very concrete priorities for the maritime sector. So cooperation is vital. Just keep that in mind in our discussions later on during this session, because this is what we will address also, and not only the sectoral approach of the blue economy. We have a problem, technical problem. I like technical problems when we solve it, thank you. So, but apart from the cooperation, innovation is a key driver, because innovation, and in particular with the aspect of the smart specialization strategies, can provide a direct impact to the market coming from particular innovative research ideas, mature ideas which do not only stay as research ideas and research projects, but come to entrepreneurial products with a direct impact and direct, let's say, positive outcome to the market. And smart specialization strategies are characterized by a place-based approach, meaning that they reflect the needs and the interest of the local stakeholders, of the coastal communities, and by engaging the research, the academia, the public and the private sector, and also the citizens, can provide this aspect of mature, innovative projects or services to the market. So we focus on innovation, we focus on smart specialization as a key driver for addressing sustainability in the maritime sectors and through cooperation. And this is why, and I would like to share with you, for you who do not know so far, that in terms of smart specialization, we are very happy in the European Commission to have now launched 2 new partnerships focusing on smart specialization and blue economy, addressing in particular circular smart aquaculture, very relevant for Pillar 1 of EUSAIR, and maritime sustainable blue bioeconomy. You can see here some more details, the objectives of the partnerships, the beneficiaries involved and the stakeholders, and of course, if we have time, I can share with you more details and information. But apart from innovation, we need human resources. I was following the previous session, which was actually in a very different topic. It was in rail and transportation. But again, they finished the session by addressing that we have research, we have expertise in terms of new ideas, etc. But we need human resources. And in order to use in the best way the human resources, we need skills, which is a concrete, let's say, tool for addressing this aspect, in particular in the maritime industry. So the European Commission is doing a lot for that, raising awareness about the ocean and the seas, reskilling workers from other sectors, developing ocean literacy, and also addressing the cooperation. European Year of Skills just, let's say, finished in the sense that a lot of events and a lot of activities took place since last May until May 2004. And apart from that, the Pact of Skills provided a lot of opportunities for the stakeholders in order to cooperate together and to address skills, gaps, reskilling, upskilling, etc. So, in particular, the Pact of Skills is one of the flagship actions of the European Skills Agenda, addressing several topics, several sectors, including, of course, maritime sectors. And as a flagship, it provides access to knowledge, it provides advice on relevant funding instruments, but also opportunities for partnerships for the stakeholders and authorities, public sector, private sector, etc. Very quickly, some information on calls of proposals already launched addressing blue skills in the maritime sectors. First of all, funded by our funds, and I'm referring to DG Mare Fund, the European Maritime Fisheries and Aquaculture Fund, the Blue Careers Call, with a couple of projects already funded. I can share all this with you, and you can find some more information later on. Horizon Europe, and in particular in the concept of the EU mission Restore Our Ocean Waters by 2030, and the particular call presented on the slide. Erasmus, a clear, let's say, funding tool addressing education, skills, human resources, a particular, let's say, project on maritime technology, very relevant with Pillar 1, and also large-scale partnerships under the Pact of Skills to create links between academia and industry, which is very, very crucial when we need to address skills and how we will improve and we will reskill the workers in the maritime sectors. Existing multi-stakeholder skills partnership already for offshore renewable energy and for shipbuilding and maritime technology. The first one, it may look closer to the second pillar of EUSAIR, but it's absolutely related also with Pillar 1, since offshore renewable energy is related with the marine environment. Just to finish my presentation by inviting you all to a joint event organized by DG Regio and DG Mare next month in Brussels, and it will address the complementarities between the macro-regional strategies and the sea-based strategies. and in particular this workshop on unlocking regional potential, boosting cooperation on innovation, clusters development, and smart specialization. Very, very relevant with our discussions today and with Pillar 1 objectives. And last but not least, here also you can have a lot of information to take, discussions and workshops and events dedicated also in skills and relevant issues. The European Maritime Day taking place this year in Svendborg in Denmark. So thank you very much. I will stop here so we can give the floor to our panelists and then a little bit to warm the discussion and start, let's say, exchanging our ideas and our, let's say, interest on this particular topic. So I will start from the first speaker. So I will invite Mr. Carlo Kraskovic to, yes, you can come here because I think you have a presentation, right?
Yeah. I think let's see.
Yeah, it's already on.
Yeah, it's my pleasure to be here. My name is Carlo Kraskovic and I'm Senior Project Manager for Mare FVG, that is the regional cluster of the region of Friuli Venezia Giulia.
We cannot hear you very well.
Can you hear? Okay. And actually we have been created in 2009 as an association, then we become a cluster in 2012 and then a technology cluster in 2015. In relation to Mare FVG, there is a strong link with regional administration because there is a specific law that regulates clusters in our region, and the clusters are aligned with smart specialization strategy. In our case, we have the focus on maritime technologies. And from that point of view, we also provided in opening, let's say, the sectors, the reference sectors that we have, together with the involvement of key players for our region. In 2019, we also widened the community, so we started to get, let's say, contacts and affiliates even from other regions in Italy and even for some other countries that want to be active part in the cluster activities. Just a couple of numbers of Mare FVG. Actually, we have 51 members that are shareholders and 41 affiliated enterprises. We constantly relate with 200 stakeholders, and as you can see, we have a wide representation of the whole innovation and production chain to maritime technologies. We include industry, small medium enterprises, universities, research centers, then we have scientific parks, education organization, port authorities, agencies, business aggregation, so more or less it's really wide. Actually, our sectors are, let's say, the main and most important are shipbuilding and boat building, but we have as well transport, offshore, both, let's say, traditional and renewables, and as well we have also some activities connected to navigation and to operation of touristic ports. With this regard, our ratio, I lost the slide. Actually, what we do as a cluster, of course, we have a contact interaction with the policymakers because we exchange a lot in terms of priorities and also feedbacks that we get from enterprises, from research and from education providers. And then we try to keep this link really active and really strong, and then implement animation activities, mapping activities, and then also develop technology and education paths and also networking. So somehow we have two links, that is of course innovation, as we are a technology cluster, but as well we have a primary activity connected even to the education paths and also to giving an answer to skills needs and competencies needs. Just an overview about the activities that we do as a cluster. Besides the networking that we do at a diversified set of levels, we have this observatory that is connected to talking directly with enterprises and relate about innovation and competences, skills, needs that we implement regularly with, let's say, with meetings, with events, with focus groups and so on. Then we have a section of course of training where we try to dialogue with education organization and with enterprises in order to make the education path somehow up to date in what are the, let's say, the innovation driven insights that we get from there. And but as well we operate with some maritime literacy activities, with some labs, with schools, let's say primary and secondary schools, to promote blue careers. And furthermore, we also try to put an effort in co-design with education organization and industry, let's say new prototypes of education paths. In addition, of course, we have some activities and services that provide both to our enterprises and to our public administration that are connected to projects and to, let's say, communication and so on. When considering what is our perspective in terms of competencies, we have this slide that somehow depicts what are the steps starting from the activity of orientation with the primary and secondary schools and high schools, and then what is the vision when connected to the continuous employment and also to upskilling and reskilling in order to constant update workers on the needs and to attract new workers. The whole system has been, let's say, structured into a specific framework set up by the region Friuli Venezia Giulia, that is a Capability Blue Hub. Has been launched last year with a specific regional law, and it is a set of a framework for running and for implementing activities to stimulate dialogue with other players, with focus groups, with some analysis, in order then to bring back results for further planning of what will be, let's say, the future, let's say, actions that are needed for us in order to give an answer of the needs in terms of education and in terms of skills. And just a couple of references for the projects that we are involved in relation to the skills. Actually, before, I know there are a lot of, in the previous slides, we've seen a lot of references that we already know because we were associated in Matte's project. Actually, we are partner in Flores that is related to the Pact for Skills Offshore Renewables. We are also in two other projects that are connected to the Pact for Skills Shipbuilding that are active now, Challenges for Us and Leadership. And of course, we are part of the Pact for Skills, these two Pact for Skills. So in relation to skills and the competencies at EU level, we constantly are into this tool, and we find it, of course, really of primary importance for us to be into, to have links and to exchange views and to join forces. We had also some other experiences with other projects, some of them on the Interreg Italy and Croatia, on the Interreg Adrian, MFAF as well, Blue Careers. We had Assess, that was a project in 2018 on the safety and security maritime sectors. Now we have UBLU Tech, that is as well on MFAF, and is on underwater competencies. So yes, we are quite active, especially even in this period with these projects that, of course, let us relate, but at the same time to give an international perspective, to be brought back to our region, but at the same time to bring our best practices to other territories. So I think that you can find, of course, my contacts here, and so we'll be also available for any question.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kraskovic. Thanks a lot. It's evident that you have already a lot of activities, a lot of milestones of your objectives, let's say, fulfilled. But may I ask you, speaking of addressing sustainability, ensuring sustainability of the blue, let's say, sectors. What will you, let's say, present as main achievements or clear achievements for addressing this aspect?
Actually, in mostly of the projects that we had that I mentioned before, as well, most of the project has a specific focus beside, let's say, digitalization, that is one of the primary inputs that are connected to this. Then, of course, decarbonization, sustainability is one of the other, let's say, core assets. Because when we also relate to the dig comp and the green comp, and let's say set of let's say instruments doing at the European level, we relate to this. And in these terms, we also have we are really take care about this issue even when we co-design or we run up some activities together in our territory. Some of these activities in terms of sustainability are also deployed directly with the vet providers, because then there are some vet providers that implement specific courses. So we are talking about EQF levels that are maybe even low, not only at university level. So we are talking about from 3 to 5, maybe 4, 5, sometimes 6. But of course, then the upper are addressed really well by all the other players. And this is something that is becoming really important. And we know that it's a rising need expressed by especially companies to have profiles that are like sustainability managers or environmental managers, and we are somehow trying to push in this direction.
Great. Are there any questions from the audience to Mr. Kraskowitz? Then we can pass to the second speaker, and I hope that there will be more time for more questions and discussions. So then I would like now to invite Mrs. Anna Odgark. Presentation is already on, so
yeah. Thank you for the invitation. Once again, my name is Anna Odak, and I am the director of the Marine, this is the Maritime Innovation Cluster in Croatia. I would present it a little bit who we are and what we do. Okay. So we are younger than Carlos cluster, so we have been established in 2019. Of course, with this buzzword that everybody is speaking, innovation in the title. Why? Because we really felt that in Croatia there was a space and there was a gap to fill this part, and this was for the first time to be organized not by the government, not by the public sector, but for the first time from the business sector. Why I'm mentioning it? Because usually in Croatia this was not the case. It was, and the clusters and all this kind of networking was more and predominantly bottom-up, I would say, coordinated. And in one way, this was a first approach where some kind of business community started with this kind of networking and with this kind of platform. So it was established by 3 companies at first and 1 university, so Gitone Kvarner, then Maritime Center of Excellency and Lursen Design Center of Kvarner, and the University of Rijeka, but then we spread. And the idea was at first to see how, let's say, our projects can get an added value, how we can somehow enhance or how we can diverge in the sense to see whether there is an added value in the business sector, in the research and in the academia that can help us to fill some of our gaps. When I say our gaps, we are The Lursen Corporation and the Lursen Group is a shipbuilding company, and usually, and with the two pillars, one is yachts and super yachts, another one is naval and this defense part. And in Croatia, in the time of COVID, we saw that there was a bunch of, or a big basin of a lot of young engineers, not only young engineers, but also engineers that are really recognized not only in Croatia, but also in the Europe and abroad, that we wanted to gather. And I think that was the right time to offer them to join in this kind of platform. Now we involved also stakeholders from Italy, from Slovenia, from Austria, from Germany, from Norway and Spain, with, of course, intention to spread more. What are the main pillars? There are 4 pillars, and I would say that the 4th pillar is the most important, not only for today's discussion, but for the total business and the total community. So the one is autonomous vessels, the other one is smart and green marinas, the third one is green transport. We are mostly somehow turned to hydrogen and this I would say new story in the Europe, but also new old story and also in the whole world. And we are part of the first regional hydrogen valley formed last year. And also the last one, as I said, the development and training of human resources and I would say future jobs and future engineers. So what is the idea? The idea is in interdisciplinary approach, really to find and to fill all the gaps that we somehow see within this platform of the Maritime Innovation Cluster that are needed. And also to help the universities, and that also they help us, and to help the research centers to somehow shape this new generation of the new engineers. What does that mean? This means this interdisciplinary approach where we can, of course, have this core business of every engineer, but also connected with all the, let's say, soft activities and other knowledges that can be then fitted in this story. So how do we see it? So definitely, and it was mentioned before, in these times of, I would say, fast changing, and we need to adopt, and definitely the professionals and the human resources that we have needs to be in accordance to understand and to answer to all the challenges that we are now facing. And there are really a lot, I would say that all the time we are in some kind of crisis. Also, this marine and this innovation cluster serves as a catalyst for skills development in the maritime industry by fostering this collaboration, promoting education, and all these training initiatives. Also, we are now organizing and preparing for the accelerator that we will also introduce this year, that will also, I would say, strengthen our platform in order to boost the industry, boost the entrepreneurs, to, I would say, help us to resolve all the challenges that we have in the maritime industry, but not only to the, let's say, Lursen group, but also to the, for example, Jadrolinija, the ferry operator, to ATSI, marina operator, and also others that are under this marine cluster. How do we do it? So we saw all the strategies that there are now as an answer to all the changes that have been introduced nowadays. And also the EU-funded projects are, I would say, some kind of tool how we are getting it to I would say, and the answer to all of this change. So we are, as I said, part of the North Adriatic Hydrogen Valley. This is the first regional valley. And in this sense, what we saw that there is a lack of knowledge within the hydrogen sector, within the academia regarding the hydrogen, and this is what we wanted to do and what we are improving within our regional center in Rijeka, where we gather all, let's say, our heads that knew anything about the hydrogen and then wanted to invest in the knowledge, but also in exchanging knowledge and also transfer knowledge to others. Also, we connect here with northern part of Italy and with Slovenia, and we are upgrading this part also. Within this project, the Lursen Group, together with the other Linia, has one big project called ZEAS project worth 19 million euros. This is the first ferry on hydrogen in Mediterranean. And this is something what we are really proud of. We are already started working on it, and we hope to have it by the 2028. Also, as I said, and if you remember and recall, the third pillar is this smart and blue marinas. And one of the project is this smart and blue tourism, where we are somehow doing the platform in one of the marina, where we are testing all the new and green technologies that we have within the group, but within the cluster that we want to upgrade for the future use. Also Eccentric, one of the projects where we are also working on the skills. And maybe something what is new and not so new, but we are part of it, the European Institute of Innovation and Technology will probably in 2025 release one tender regarding the knowledge and innovation community in water, marine and maritime sector and ecosystems. And our goal is, together with in our consortium with the University of Rijeka, with us, but also with Ruđer Bošković Institute and the Faculty of Electrical Engineering and Computing in Zagreb. We are forming also a nucleus for, I would say, strengthening that we will strengthen with other countries. And what is the idea? The idea is definitely in this kind of innovation ecosystem, we want to be the one, not only the leaders, but the one who will, with all the partners, develop all the ideas, try to answer on all these challenges that we are now facing in this sector, but also, and one of the key issues is definitely the skills that we want to improve regarding the maritime industry. Yes. Okay. So this is the last
great,
one.
on time. So thank you so much, Mrs. Odak.
Welcome.
Any questions to Mrs. Odak? Any questions? Any comments? Anything? I have a question.
Okay.
First of all, very active. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Actually, it goes beyond, let's say, the classic cooperation, European projects. I saw that also. You mentioned your activities for the KICS and all the stuff, so this is very innovative. I have a question for you. How do you see technology changing the maritime industry nowadays? And what do you think, from your experience, are, let's say, the senior skills needed for professionals in these particular fields?
Mm-hmm. Well, definitely I see that all these enhancing sectors need to be involved also in the maritime industry. So all the robotics, AI, data analysis need to be included, and this is one part. But the another part that I already mentioned is these soft skills that we are lacking. Because, for example, I'm not an engineer, but I work with the engineers every day, and they usually tend to be in there as we are all in our silos. Mm-hmm. And what is the idea? The idea is to spread this kind of, let's say, knowledge and to exchange opinions, and of course to have some kind of interdisciplinary approach for resolving, let's say, all the obstacles and challenges that we have nowadays in the maritime sector. And I think that we can do it only by doing, I would say, some kind of micro qualifications, micro credentials, or something like that, together with the universities or some other vocational or some vocational trainings, but we desperately need it.